My name is Peter Santenello, and I make videos around the world. But for the first time, I'm showing my home country, America. In this video series, my Ukrainian wife and I travel through Northern California to places most foreigners and even Americans don't know about. We will show you USA culture through the combination of an outsider's and a local's perspective. Join us on a road trip through a very diverse, often misunderstood, and stunningly beautiful land. It's really cool when you come back to your country after being gone for a long time. Another day, another adventure here at Mono Lake, California, far east of the state. High desert lake, totally different once you get over those Sierra Nevadas. This is watered, yes, but it's desert out here. So we're gonna go to some really cool, interesting places today that you don't know about, Nana.
Surprise?
Surprises. To the lake, to the lake. Such a theatrical performance. So quiet. So peaceful here. Mono Lake. Mysterious. I'm curious, but let's be serious. Today we're going to a little surprise location Nana doesn't know about. And then to hot springs. Like a natural hot springs in the desert, and then up to Lake Tahoe. So the migration pattern for some of these birds here is all the way to Argentina, and they come up Mono Lake, Great Salt Lake. Looks like Canada also. How does it feel, Nana? What would you say?
You feel very free here. It's like you breathe all this space.
Right, you breathe the space.
Yeah.
Great way of saying it. What do you know about Bodie, Natalia?
Nothing.
You don't know anything about Bodie?
No.
Okay.
I've heard of it. Bodie, a town so lawless that in 1881 it was described as a sea of sin lashed by the tempests of lust and passion. Interesting place you are bringing me to, baby. Passion and lust.
So Bodie is considered a ghost town. Nobody lives here anymore. Now it's a park. Pretty cool though, it's pretty cool. It's way out in the middle of nowhere. They found gold here. There was a boom and then a bust. Gold was discovered here 1859. The population went up to 10,000 people. I'm just giving you the highlights here. 30 mines, 60 saloons, bars, many near Bonanza Street prostitutes, cribs, and opium dens in Chinatown. So there was a big bar scene.
60 bucks.
Opium dens and prostitutes. And this nice looking little quintessential 19th century town. So that would be interesting, right? You go to an opium den at night, one of the 60 bars, and hang out with some prostitutes, and then the next morning you find yourself here. Little redemption. Little father, I'm sorry. I'll be good next week.
To jest właśnie popularne. Tylko wziąłeś kanapę.
No. It's a good title for the dinner.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So cold here up in the elevation, but it's so hot from the sun. It's like burning hot.
Like your front side is burning and your backside's freezing.
My forehead is burning and I'm freezing. I don't know what's going on.
And here are the carts that would pull the minerals, the gold, out of the mines. Very hard work being in those mines. So imagine that though, you're out here, you're digging in these mountains all day, right?
Yeah.
You find your nuggets, you have disposable income, you're in this rowdy, crazy ass town of 10,000 people with 60 bars, and you're just partying with your buddies, and maybe shit goes wrong and you bring a gun out in these streets right here. You get pissed off at someone and you bring a gun out and you just do a draw, which means you walk away from each other. And well, this is what the movies are like, right? 1, 2, 3, and they turn around and they shoot each other. That shit went on up here, isn't that crazy? There was a full-on Chinatown here in this city with their own Taoist temple. And isn't that the story? The Chinese always find the opportunity, no matter where there's money to be made, wherever there's money to be made in the world, you will see Chinese, because they are the ultimate business people / entrepreneurs. Smell that sage?
Yeah.
This is all sage.
It has very strong smell.
Yeah, guys, it grows all over the place here. Cell phone coverage, not existing. That's like been a great part of our trip, right? No cell phone coverage.
Yeah.
And
No distraction.
yeah, what people don't understand, especially coming from Europe, usually is the grand spaces, how far things are spaced out, and the fact that this is California, the most populous state in the whole country. But with that said, there are plenty of spaces where you're out in the middle of nowhere. I love how these guys all look very tough, and they were lived in tough times in a rough landscape, but they dressed well. They look stylish here in Bodie. What happened to fashion, you know? Seriously, even in these very rural settings, they styled. You know what it was? There was a lot of risk. There was a lot of risk in life, right?
Yeah.
And so with that came the reward, with that came the danger, and I think like people felt really very much alive, you know?
Yeah. Unpredictability and all that stuff.
Unpredictability, exactly. Well, the guy who founded this place, Bodie, died because of a snowstorm. He got caught in a snowstorm taking his horse and carriage to the next town over.
Rough existence, man.
Yeah. They were from France, yeah. Massive road trip.
They seem very civilized.
They're probably eating brie and having whining cheese in the desert.
They remind me of the Hells Angels at all, you know?
Yeah.
Their motorcycles are very quiet. The thing I like about it the best up at this altitude, when you smoke bud, it really...
The altitude.
Altitude.
It's like drinking on an airplane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Drink
well,
is the-
I don't
is
drink
3.
anymore.
That's
No more alcohol. I just said no to alcohol and yes to weed. I'm telling him history now. There's only been 3 funny Americans.
Let him go see the history.
There was Johnny
Some good history, too.
Carson. There was Johnny Carson. There was Robin Williams, and then there's me.
What about Bill Murray?
Uncle
Bill Murray.
Mark.
Sandwich for you?
Sandwich, cheese, cheese sandwich, avocado,
No
salsa.
salsa.
Why?
This is for mine. You don't like salsa on your sandwich?
Yeah, that's right.
On a mission?
On a mission, rallying the Ford Fusion, and this car I'm giving serious thumbs up to. Eastern Sierra Mountains. That's This is for my foreign audience. These are mobile homes. And they actually come in on the back of a truck and are put wherever, right? And I live in Ukraine now, so a lot of people have this understanding that everyone in America is loaded rich. They land in Hollywood and, you know, they're gonna see Brad Pitt on the streets, wanting to hang out, and all this weird, like movie type realities that are not the reality. And a lot of people in the States don't have much money. A lot of people live in places like mobile homes. This is Bridgeport, population 575. Quintessential, middle of nowhere, western town. Check this out, Muffin. They even have that on signs now. You can't smoke marijuana near the door. It's crazy how open it's become in just the last couple of years here. Like, it was always like a weed smoking culture, but as far as the legality goes and the like overall societal acceptance, it's unreal. Like 2 years, it's totally changed. Okay, let's try to get soft serve.
Soft serve, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
Are your smalls like super huge?
You can have chocolate vanilla swirled or strawberry vanilla swirled.
Chocolate sprinkles? Do you want sprinkles?
What's that?
You want sprinkles,
Chocolate.
trust me.
Chocolate.
Do you have a dip fudge option?
Dip.
It's really an American thing. You tip for the creamy stand, you tip at restaurants for sure, like 20% is the average now. And in hotels for the cleaning staff, it's like really normal to leave a tip when you leave. That's different, isn't it?
Here's one.
The whole tipping culture?
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna let it cool, you're gonna let it sit a bit, and then the ice cream freezes and it turns hard. Another nice aspect to the eastern Sierra Nevada mountains are the hot springs. They're hot springs all over the place. How you guys? Let's go in these. Look at that green algae. That's so cool. Look at that shot, babe. That's a cool picture. Therapeutic springs. Therapeutic waters coming from Mother Nature. Especially at night. It's absolutely stunning. It's just a theater of stars. No city lights.
You tricked me. That wasn't like Tahoe. This is it. Wow.
This is it. Lives here for 7 years. Up at Lake Tahoe. Basically from 20 to 26 and then back again after went around the world, like 28 to 30. That's 8 years. Anyways, roughly 7 years in total. Always feels like home coming back here. I know a lot of these beaches. Tomorrow we're gonna go to a very cool beach up the coast and up the shore. 22 miles long, 12 miles wide. Is that right? Something like that, I think. Very deep, up to 1,600 feet plus deep. And these very clear, transparent waters. Reason being, there's no agriculture up here. We're up at about 6,200 feet, which is like, I don't know, 2,000 meters. So nothing's really like running into it. There's no industry. Development's been pretty much null for a long time. So nothing's really polluting it. I guess these boats do somewhat, but other than that, it's very clear. So basic rundown, this is North Shore, far end is South Shore, that's West Shore, and that's East Shore. And why is that interesting? Because every shore has an identity, like climatic identity. Here is the banana belt. Up here in East Shore, that's where the best beaches are. The West Shore sees the most snow. There'll be like 3 times as much snow on that side than on that side in the winter. The South Lake is more of a city, small city. A lot of casinos. It's got a totally different feel to it than the North Lake. I always liked it better up here. And then that little plateau looking peak way in the distance is Squaw Valley, one of the better ski resorts in America. Just right in front of the camera. And so you have a lot of these rounded boulders, and then depending on where you're at, nice sandy beaches. The lake's high though. A few years ago it was very low, and it all depends on the snow melt. And so last year was a big, very big winter, filled the lake back up, and there's only one outlet in Lake Tahoe, the Truckee River. It goes out to a lake in the desert called Pyramid Lake. And I think there's like something like 68 or 72 inlets, you know, rivers flowing into it. Most of the water is lost through evaporation. It's very dry up here. Sun is very strong, and it never freezes. No matter how cold it is outside, the lake never freezes. Secret entryway. Whoa. Around the rocks. Woo! It's not that cold, huh? It's not too bad. Last night was freezing. So here's a cool fact about Lake Tahoe. It cuts between state lines, so Nevada and California. Nevada side is remote. There's very little development, and that's because I'm forgetting the guy's name, but when he died, I believe it was in his will to give that land to the state of Nevada, and the state of Nevada did an amazing thing and decided not to make a ton of money, but to preserve it. So you have all this coastline that's untouched. California side, even though it's well treated and whatnot, all that over there, there's pretty much houses along most of it. Yeah, and it's interesting too when you're driving, because you'll hit that state line and you'll see all the casinos. You know you're in Nevada, and California doesn't have casinos on the lake. So there's a lot of history here. Sinatra used to hang out at one of the casinos up here. No, behind those rocks. This is one of his party places. And there was a house. Can't see it here, but it's around here. And there's a boathouse. They used to sneak in and they had their parties. And there's also like well-preserved bodies on the sea floor, because there's really no algae eating anything up, definitely at the depths. And it stays like a constant, very cool temperature. It's a summer place and a winter place. There's like, I don't know, roughly 12 ski resorts in the immediate vicinity. And then you have Reno. It's just over that gap there. Like right over there, there's a road. And you go over 45 minutes away and you're in a city of roughly 300,000. Does Nana approve of this place?
World class beach.
You gonna beach bitch it?
Yes. Beach bitch it. Forever.
The first place I lived at in Lake Tahoe is this house on the West Shore. 1999, winter 98, 99. There was so much snow the snow accumulated on the roof of the home. And one night there was this loud noise of whoosh, and then boom, and the whole house shook. And it's because all the snow from the roof fell. And tried to open the door. There's a little peephole of light. So we actually had to dig snow into the home and crawl out a little hole. And that winter we had snow here until June. So this is where I spent 7 solid winters of my life. Squaw Valley, California. This lift right here, KT22. One of the best lifts in the US. And all these cliffs up here are called the Fingers. They fill them with snow. Great, extreme, steep, challenging terrain. And this was my obsession, this place. Worked nights at a restaurant over there called Plumpchecks and rode here every day. That's the story. That's the California road trip. Those are some of my favorite places, and it's super cool to show you, revisit, and show you guys, because most of my content's out in the world. Actually, all of it is. And so people ask me about the States sometimes. Well, that's what it was. And there'll be episodes you can look at before this last one if you want to see more of the road trip. Okay, that's the story. And off to Pakistan in about a month, doing a video series there. Until next time, peace.